Surely you've started something with a lot of excitement, and without realizing it, suddenly you don't feel the same anymore. Welcome to the gray side. Today we're going to talk about why, even when we like something, we end up leaving it halfway. Now I want you to imagine that you discover something new that you like. It could be a skill, a hobby, or even a project. At the beginning, everything hooks you. You learn quickly, it motivates you. You feel like you're progressing and improving every day. You even think,
"This is something I really like. I've finally found what I enjoy."
but little by little, something starts to change. Without realizing it, that excitement is no longer there. What once felt interesting now becomes repetitive. It's harder to get started, you get distracted more easily, and even though you know how to do it well, it doesn't fulfill you the same way anymore. And then that uncomfortable feeling appears, and you start to wonder,
Why am I bored now? If I used to love this.
if you're like this, you may have even thought that the problem is you, that you lack consistency, that the same thing always happens to you, that you start with enthusiasm, but never finish.
What's wrong with me? Why doesn't this motivate me anymore? I used to like this. Why not now?
But what you might not know is that this happens for a reason, and it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. This is where you need to understand something important. Your mind doesn't work randomly. Your brain is designed to constantly seek three things: novelty, challenge, and learning. When you start something new, all three are present. Every small step forward feels like a reward, and without realizing it, you think,
This is interesting. I want to keep going. Ha!
but as time goes by and you repeat the same thing over and over again, that feeling begins to change. What once was new now becomes predictable. What once was a challenge now becomes easy, and then your mind starts to disconnect.
But I already know how to do this. But I've already done this. This has nothing new for me anymore.
It's not that you've lost discipline. It's not that you don't like it anymore. It's that your brain no longer finds enough stimulation to stay interested. And when that happens, something inside you starts to slowly switch off. And there comes a point where you don't even have to think as much anymore. You do it almost without realizing. Before, you needed to focus, make mistakes, learn. But now, everything just flows. You know what to do, how to do it, and what will happen next. And that's where something interesting happens. Even though you're better than before, you feel less connected.
I could do it right now, but I don't feel like it. I know how to do it well, but it just doesn't interest me as much anymore.
And that confuses you, because in theory, this was the goal: to improve, to master it, to feel capable. But instead of that, a strange feeling appears. You feel empty. There's no tension, no uncertainty, no surprise. Everything is correct, but flat. And then your mind starts looking for something else. Something that reactivates you. Something that makes you feel that spark from the beginning again. Without realizing it, you start looking elsewhere once more.
Maybe I should try something different. I'm sure something new would motivate me more.
And that's where, without realizing it, the next step of the cycle begins to form. Without noticing, you fall into the same pattern. You start again. You find something new, something that sparks your curiosity once more. And again, you feel that initial burst of energy.
This is it! Now I've really found something that motivates me and I love.
You get involved again, you progress, you improve. And for a while, everything fits. But if you look back, you might notice something. This has happened to you before, not once, but several times. You start strong, you grow fast, and just when you could keep going deeper, something breaks. And then you tell yourself,
This time it won't happen like before. This time will be different. Now I'm going to stick with it and be consistent.
but deep down, you'll always have that doubt because you already recognize how you are and what happens to you. It's not that you're not capable. It's not that you lack discipline. There's something deeper guiding that change. And while you keep jumping from one thing to another feeling may appear, one that's harder to explain, as if you're always starting, but never truly finishing. And that's when you begin to wonder if the problem isn't what you do, but how your own mind works. And it's right at that moment that something can change. Because when you understand what's happening, you stop fighting against it. And this is the explanation. It's not that you are inconsistent, nor that everything bores you. It's that your mind needs more than just repeating the same thing. It needs to evolve within what you do, instead of asking yourself,
Why don't I like this anymore?
you can start asking yourself,
How can I do this differently?
that's the key. You can level up, change your approach, set new challenges, learn a more complex part, or even teach others what you already know. Because when you do that, your mind becomes engaged again.
Now it all makes sense.
And if you still feel like it no longer connects with you, it's also okay to let it go. Not everything is meant to last forever. The difference is that now you don't judge yourself anymore. Now you understand that you weren't failing. You were just growing. If at any point in this video you felt identified, I want you to keep something important in mind. There's nothing wrong with you. Many people go through this same cycle without understanding it. They start with excitement, they make progress, and when everything stops being new, they feel something switch off. And that doesn't mean you're inconsistent. It means your mind is looking for something more. It's looking to grow, to change, and to evolve. If this video helped you understand a bit better why this happens to you, you can leave a like. That way I'll know there are more people going through the same thing and that we're not alone in this. And now tell me in the comments, is there something you started with a lot of excitement and then left behind? I'm reading you. And if you want to keep understanding how your mind works, why you do what you do, and what's behind your thoughts, I invite you to subscribe to The Gray Side. Here we keep exploring together what's going on inside your mind.
See you in the next video.